Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Sagar and today we have to talk about an article which appeared in The Hindu on 4th August 2026 and page 8 GS2IR. I will show you that article, but that article is about PoK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So there are certain regions which are near Pakistan occupied Kashmir, near LOC line of control, where protests are happening. Now these particular protests which are happening, let me show you that region also. So in this particular region, Rawalkot region, you can see how close it is to the line of control, and that's why many people believe that Pakistan will not allow these protests to go on for a very long period. Now, why these protests are happening? Because people are not very happy. Pakistani people, not exactly Pakistani people, they are Indian people, right? They're part of PoK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So they are not very happy with how Pakistan is currently ruling them. They are not very happy with inflation. They feel like the elected government in PoK is rigged. It is not representing their concern. So again, they are unhappy with unemployment, education. These matters, they are not isolated to PoK, but can India take advantage of this particular unrest in PoK? That's what we are trying to understand here. In this particular article, you will see terms, you will see phrases, you will see international institutions name, Amnesty International. What is it? Where is the headquarter? UPSC has already asked a PYQ on it. All these things become very important. So large-scale protests are taking place in Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and Pakistani security forces, they have launched a crackdown. More than 50 people have been killed. Can you compare it to the CJP protest which happened in India? No. Nobody was killed here. Yes, we talk about accesses, we talk about pellet guns, but this is an entirely different matter altogether. And there is a JKJAAC. What is this? Jammu Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee. They are actually a group consisting of NGOs, civil society groups, who are talking about how, the betterment of PoK, how things can happen, or inflation can be tackled, unemployment can be tackled. That is what JKJAAC is talking about, JAAC is talking about. So you can see here, the unrest is linked to three-phase PoK elections. They feel, and there is another bone of contention here in this three-phase PoK election. If you see, there are 45 elected seats. Total legislature capacity of PoK is 53. 45 elected, 8 nominated. Leaving aside the 8 nominated part, if you focus on the 45 elected part, 12 are reserved. Again, focus on the key phrase here. Indian Jammu and Kashmir, reserved for refugees from Indian Jammu and Kashmir. What is the meaning of Indian Jammu and Kashmir in PoK context? Remember, we are talking these terms from Pakistani context, what they are, giving names. So what are these refugees? So after 1947, there were many people who were on the, who were in Jammu and Kashmir, our Jammu and Kashmir, who went back to Pakistan. Initially, they were in the PoK region. But now the current people, they are saying that these 12 seats which were reserved for refugees who came from Indian Jammu and Kashmir, our Jammu and Kashmir, these people, they are not even living in PoK. Most of them are in outside PoK. So basically the seats which you are reserving, via this, you are reducing local representation. The people, the common people, the local people of PoK, they are not getting adequate representation because now they are representing only 33 of the 45 elected seats. Hope you are understanding what this article is talking about. So again, authorities, this is the major bone of contention. Why are you reserving seats for those people who are not even in PoK right now? Reduce this whole thing, reduce local representation, allow Islamabad to influence PoK politics. So maybe these 12 people who are coming in the pretext of refugees from Indian Jammu and Kashmir, they are basically Islamabad's representative. They are not representing PoK at all. So again, things are happening. The movement gained momentum after Osama Jalil, a PhD scholar. Many people, they were comparing her with Neha Boda, AISA. But again, this is not the same case. Neha Boda is still alive, and she should be. And this guy was killed in police firing. So you can see how much things have escalated. People are talking about in India, because of the CJP protest, student protest, what will happen, is this the new Arab Spring of India? In that context, if you see this whole thing which is happening in PoK, it has a much, much higher magnitude. Hope you are understanding where we are going with this. Many residents, you can read all these things. And again, people in PoK, they believe that they are treated the same way in which Baluchistani and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa people are being treated. Dhurandhar, leaving aside the, many people say it's a propaganda movie. I don't believe in that. I don't believe whether it's a propaganda movie or not a propaganda movie. But Thurandar did talk about these kind of Balochistan and how they have been isolated, they have been not developed to a certain extent. Same is the feeling of PoK people here. So again, you can read all these things. Now these Khwaja Asif, they're saying that these are enemies just like Indians. And in Hindu, you may have seen editorial articles where they're talking, again, by and large, we are again coming back to student protests, because you can see some similarities, that if there are some grievances, genuine grievances, let's say paper leak, we are talking about student protest here, and people are protesting, and you may say that some fringe elements they entered into it, that's leaving that aside. But if the issues are genuine, and if you start saying that they are bad, start suppressing them, that is not the solution. Same thing goes here. Although the magnitude of discontent here of PoK people is much, much higher. Can India take advantage of it? I don't know. Maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. We will not go there. So second phase of polling on August 2 also faced allegations of irregularities and rigging, which many people again compare with CEC, Chief Election Commission of India. There was a CEC Act of 2023 where Supreme Court said that there should be 3 members, one Prime Minister, one LOP, and one Chief Justice of India. That Chief Justice of India was replaced with Cabinet Minister. So is election rigged in our country? Absolutely not. So India's response, India is criticizing Pakistan's handling of the protest. You can see India's Ministry of External Affairs accused the Pakistani establishment of using excessive force against civilians. Now that whole civil society group, they have also came in picture, and they're saying that no, it's not about India, Pakistan, this and that. It's about, the issues which PoK is facing in general. India has highlighted statement. You can read all these things. Again, you have to understand the basic crux of this article, what they are trying to. Reaction within Kashmir. Mirwais Umar Farooq, he is expressing concern over the violence. But the civil society group, which we have talked about in the initial part of this video, JKJAAC, rejected India's attempt to link the protest to its own position on Kashmir. So they are like, no, it's not about, you coming and... Again, so hope you are understanding where this article is going. What is important here is there will be some terms which we will be talking about, and why this is strategically important, because we have just seen the map how close Rawalkot is to LOC. In Operation Sindoor, we bombed Indian Army, they went to these particular regions, Kotli, Muzaffarabad and Rawalkot, you can see here. So that make this particular region strategically very significant. If there is some unrest here, which we can see it is there, it can be taken advantage by Indian Army, and Pakistani Army may not like that. And that's why they may try to suppress it. But suppression of dissent is not the answer, as you can see with examples all throughout the world. Amnesty International, it's a human rights group. It's not a part of United Nations, so to say, headquartered in England. And let's talk about certain stuff related to Amnesty International, then we'll go back to the article. So you can see here 1961, British lawyer Peter Berenson. Where is the headquarter? Headquarter is in London. Human rights group. NGO. They can give you, it's an NGO focusing on poor people, towards poor people's concern and all. No, it's a human rights NGO, if you want to call it. It talks about human rights violations. So the ambit is much wider. Campaign against torture, unlawful killings, arbitrary arrest, you can see death penalty and all. And they are also very concerned with what is happening in PoK. They urged Pakistan to end the communication blackout, restore internet, allow media and independent observer access. Will Pakistan do that? That's the question which we are talking here. Mirpuri Kashmiri diaspora in UK has launched online campaigns. So now this diaspora, GS2IR, international relation, Indian diaspora, which diaspora gives you political stability, economic stability, cultural stability. You have to read about that also from mains perspective. Why am I jumping here and there? So Amnesty International, let's see some question, guys. So what is the basic summary of this whole article, guys? People in Pakistan, particularly, in whole Pakistan, I don't think all the people are very happy, but in PoK, they are not happy in particular. So protesters say that ongoing PoK elections are unfair and rigged. Major demand is the removal of 12 reserved assembly seats. We have talked about what is a major issue with these 12 reserved assembly seats, and the so-called refugees, they're not even in PoK. Pakistani forces, they have carried out a crackdown on protesters. Have they used pellet gun? We don't know. But they use something more than that. That's why around 50 people have died, according to that civil society. Protests became stronger after the reported death of Osama Jalil. You can have a look at this. Human rights groups such as oh my God, Amnesty International have asked Pakistan to show restrain and allow media access. And we have to wait and watch whether Pakistan will do that or not. So this is the article, guys. Why has PoK erupted in protest? And you can have a look at it. This is a question asked by UPSC in 2015. If you know the answer, you can post it in the comment section. Another question, Rawalkot frequently mentioned is strategically significant. Why? What do you think? And whenever you're seeing these kind of questions, you have to choose the best option. So what do you think is the best option here? And again, you can download these PDF to see the answer of this question from my Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh. Take care, be blessed. I will see you soon.